Hi everyone, it's Stacy Portugal with more mini weight loss coaching sessions on Facebook Live. The 4th of July holiday, it's right around the corner, and I'm sure you're all thinking, how am I going to get through this one? Lots of food, long holiday weekend, and it seems like it was just Father's Day, and before that it was just Mother's Day. And I'm sure there was a birthday or an anniversary or a dinner out somewhere in between there as well. So temptation is really all around us. I mean, it's always going to be something. And it can be pretty daunting if we're really focused on what we cannot have. So there is a woman that I really like. She's actually an obesity doctor. She's also an author. Her name is Dr. Barbara Berkeley. And she says that in order to maintain a healthy weight after you've lost a lot of weight is to kind of live on a food island. And I feel like to some degree that this is really true, that the problem is that it's not that realistic to live on a food island most of the time or some of the time because we're just humans. So the more socially engaged we are, I think the more difficult it really is, and the more likely that we're going to be confronted with, that standard American diet. And the more we're in need of some really solid strategies to kind of deal with the landmines around us. So it's really normal to feel deprived, and you're not alone if that's how you're feeling. Hopefully you're not feeling this way all the time, but it might be kind of creeping up in certain situations. So it is work to lose weight. It's work to maintain weight. And the problem is that when we're feeling deprived, it sort of can set the tone for a pity party. And once that happens, you can really just kind of slide off the cliff pretty quickly. So if this is something that you relate to, if it's something that resonates with you, you can just go ahead and like this post. But also I would love to hear from you. What situations make you feel deprived? When are you looking at other people with food envy? We really have to make sure that we've got solid strategies to avoid deprivation. It's really critical to keep us emotionally on track. And also we want to kind of please our taste buds so it doesn't feel like we're, dieting. Healthy should not be hard, but it does take a little bit of planning in the environment that we all live in. So it's a long-term commitment, that's for sure. It sounds very cliche, but the truth of the matter is it is a lifestyle and we do have to be committed to it. And any diet that is making you feel deprived all the time is not sustainable, and it's a waste of your time. So we have to be very solution focused when we notice that deprivation is creeping into the picture. So go ahead, feel free to comment. Let me know what situations make you feel deprived. And let's kind of brainstorm together, whether now or even if it's after you're watching this on a replay, that's fine too. I know I'm a little earlier tonight than I said I would be, guys. Sorry. Had a little glitch, so had to make some changes. Anyway, here's a couple of common situations for me that make me feel deprived. Tell me what you think about this. So group settings, when you're out to dinner with the girls, or it's card night or mahjong night, and everybody is just having fun and they're eating and they're drinking, and nobody's like counting what they're doing. Nobody's being accountable for anything. They're just relaxed, and they're relaxing and they're enjoying themselves. And I definitely feel food envy at that time. So anyone that goes out to dinner with me, you can pop in too, so you know how I feel. But also if I see like certain favorite foods. One situation in particular, we go to a local restaurant that we love, and I love the fish and the vegetables, the salads, it's all great fresh food. I can really stay on plan there. The problem is that they have the best bread basket, and I'm just wondering if anyone can guess by the bread I'm about to tell you. It is sourdough bread with a salty crust. And I think it is so delicious. And no matter what my plan was for the evening, whether I've chosen to eat it or not, I always have food envy because I just see other people like dipping it in the olive oil, and I just think it's such great bread. It's not often that I have food envy over a bread basket. I can live without bread, but this bread definitely causes me to feel deprived, unfortunately. But even like when I'm traveling, tell me if you relate to this, like you're traveling and you really want to try the local fare. And many times it's really not very healthy. You know, we go back and forth to New Orleans. One of my children go to school there, and their food is not healthy, much of it. And, you know, certainly you can pick and choose, but still, you know, you can't just eat with, you know, abandon whatever you want. Because I personally would come home 10 pounds or heavier than I was when I left. So when I'm traveling, it's just hard because it's fun to go to restaurants when it's an expression of their culture. Even when you hear people like munching on popcorn at the movie theater, it can be a little daunting. But what about like going through the checkout line at the grocery store and all the candy sitting there like right in front of you? I mean, how does that make you feel? You know, I remember those days where I would just grab a little candy bar to munch on the way home. But even like long social events can be really hard, you know, when it's just a long evening and you've got it all planned, but it's just a long evening. It just gets hard. So I guess when you think about it, I mean, just overall, I feel deprived when I need to think and be accountable for every bite, which is most of the time. But the truth is, I'd rather deal with the hard of, you know, feeling deprived here and there and brainstorming that than the hard of being 25 pounds heavier and dealing with that. So I guess it's just a matter of which hard do you want to choose. Definitely something to think about this 4th of July weekend. So where do you draw the line? I mean, how strict do you want to be, and how do you find the right balance between deprivation and control? We don't want too tight of a grip. That can be a little much. But on the other hand, you know, you don't want rigid. You don't want something to be uncomfortable. You want sustainable. But, you know, you don't want to be in a diet prison. So, you know, how do you find that balance, and what makes you feel deprived? You know, and how do you brainstorm it? What are your best strategies? Today, actually, I have a download for you. It's a PDF, and you can print it or just view it on your device. But it's these no-fail strategies to avoid deprivation. And it's actually already on the Facebook page. So just follow the link, scroll down, and just you can get the PDF that way. But I'm just going to really quickly talk about 2 methods that I have on there, 2 strategies that I think are really important for avoiding these feelings of deprivation. One of them is just to make sure that you're eating adequate amounts of protein and fat in your diet on a daily basis. You know, you might be thinking to yourself, what does that have to do with deprivation? I'm not craving protein and fats, you know, it's not pizza. But that wasn't quite the protein and fats I had in mind. What I really mean is you have to be well nourished and you have to be satiated, and feeding your body well and making sure that you're getting just the right protein and an adequate amount of fat is going to make you feel satisfied. It's going to give your body the nourishment that it needed, and it's going to help you get rid of some of those cravings that you're going to encounter this weekend. So hopefully also what it does when you get enough protein and fat is it kind of crowds out the junk food. Because the more junk food you're eating, the more cravings you're probably having, and probably the more difficult it is for you to get past the cravings. The second strategy that I want to share is to plan for treats that you love on a regular basis. I'll never forget a friend of mine, a Weight Watcher leader, had a member that loved bagels, and she was describing this bagel to my friend, who said to her, after she had this whole big description of how she was eating this bagel and it was so good and she hadn't had it in such a long time, and she said, you know what, I think you should eat a bagel at least once a week, because it's something that you love, and we have to take care of ourselves emotionally. So make sure that you're having what I would call an on-plan treat on a pretty regular basis. So either you're going to find a healthier version of your favorite foods, so you need to understand what it is why you like your favorite foods, what it is about those favorite foods, so that you can translate it into a healthier version. Or if you like the real deal, that's fine too. And then just be portion controlled, and know that you get to have that treat on a regular basis. So it's really not about deprivation, but it's really normal to feel deprived at times. And with the holiday weekend coming up, hopefully you're going to find this PDF helpful. I hope you'll go to the Facebook post that's should be, right before this, and just go ahead and print it off and enjoy it. Happy 4th, everyone. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate all the positive feedback I get. It's really fun for me to do this with you and for you. I will be back on July 5th. That's Tuesday, next Tuesday, with another mini weight loss coaching session on Facebook Live. And I'm going to be reading your comments from now until then. We really want to hear, how is the 4th of July going? And what situations and strategies do you use for deprivation? So take care, guys, and I'll see you in a couple days. I'll see you in a week. Take care. Bye-bye.